Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday, and welcome back to the Sporty Show, or welcome to the Sporty Show. I'm your host, Sara with a bit of a better voice than yesterday. We're getting there. I'm joined with a lovely table today. Some familiar faces that maybe we haven't seen in a while, but nonetheless, the first, the one, the only, Mr. KlintonCod.
Oh, Sarah. Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sporty Show. It's your boy KlintonCod. As usual, it's a beautiful day the Lord has made. Actually, it's a beautiful day in Madrid today. So sweet. Anyways, it's a beautiful day the Lord made for us to speak about football, speak about transfer, the most important. This is the most lovely show, obviously. This is what you expect, but joined on the same table to join us or assist us in this conversation is the tallest man in Madrid. Alex, I'm very nice today. Do you see it? It's Alex Ashmore. No, quite.
He actually is,
I would have said
that
was yeah, I mean, I would have said the shortest man, though.
We almost ran out of time now after that intro.
This is the problem.
No, good to be on and good to be back on a normal show again after.
I don't think we've done a show, me and you together,
since before the Classico.
Really?
Yeah, since
Do you want to talk about it again?
The Classico.
Just me and you.
Yes. No, it's been good to be back. Of course, a lot's happened since then, and more to happen this week. And we've got an expert to talk about some of the topics today, as I believe it may involve certain players coming to Liverpool and Arne Slot reinforcing his squad. Shantelle, good to have you on.
Thank you, Alex, and good to have you back. You were missed, of course.
Stop. What do you mean you?
Is that not allowed?
Like, what was she trying to?
What
So
do you
far,
mean?
I've had a lot of people saying, we missed you.
Ale, why you lying to yourself, man? You gotta chill. No. To be honest,
Shantelle, you're taking care of socials today?
So yes, I'm on socials today, so send your best comments. I mean, I'm always in for the funny ones, and of course, I'll be picking the best ones to share. So go ahead and do that for me.
Brilliant. Yes, a lot to get into, guys, today. We are talking transfers, some confirmed, some speculation, but you know how it is when that summer transfer window creeps up on us. But before we get into that, this is what's coming up on Sporty TV this week. Coming up right after the show today, we do have England taking on Belgium in the U17 UEFA Championship. And we'll get into that a little bit later in the show. Alex Ashmore, your countryman in action. We also have the Saudi League, Al-Shabaab versus Al-Ittihad. Italy versus Czechia in the other under-17 match. River versus Platense over in Argentina. Tomorrow we have Cristiano Ronaldo and Al Nassr taking on Al Khalej. Sevilla versus Real Madrid in a Real Madrid TV replay. Albania versus Germany in the under-17, as well as France and Portugal, and Man City versus Bournemouth for another replay for you guys. On Thursday, we see Belgium taking on Czechia. Napoli versus, this is Friday, pardon me, Napoli versus Cagliari. Italy versus England, the Lucrezia and Alex Ashmore derby in the U17 Championship. Fenerbahce taking on Panathinaikos in the Europa League replay, as well as Olympiacos versus Monaco. We have Auckland taking on Melbourne Victory, Nagoya versus Urawa, Sheffield versus Sunderland in the EFL Championship playoffs to see who will be playing in the Premier League. Armenia versus Stuttgart in the DFB Pokal final, and Sunday we'll wrap it all up with Kawasaki versus Osaka. Man United versus Aston Villa in the Premier League.
Hey, there you go, Clinton.
Portugal versus Germany in the U17, as well as France and Albania. And we do have the Euro League final as well. So make sure you're keeping up with the basketball. And we'll have the third place match as well. So enjoy it all. Lots of action here on Sporty TV as per usual. So make sure you stay tuned. Let's start off with some Premier League action, though. Shantelle, Liverpool lost, but no harm done, really.
No, I mean, I watched the match, and Honestly, it feels good to have won the title because, like, obviously nothing really matters at this point. I mean, we saw a beautiful goal from Elliot, then Szoboszlai with a beautiful goal as well, announcing his wife is pregnant. Should have cancelled the goal after that. Anyways, then Brighton, I feel like they played a very good game, even though they really have nothing fighting for. And you can tell that Liverpool is still in party mode because there are lots of mistakes that happen that we wouldn't see happening if they were playing for something. But I'm not mad about it. I'm not.
I think I saw a tweet saying, I think it was from some, I think it might have been from the Crystal Palace official account, or it might have been someone affiliated with the club or a fan saying, at Liverpool, should we just sack it off next week and go to Ibiza early?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I saw that.
Well, because obviously Crystal Palace in action against Wolves, which, I mean, if you thought Liverpool-Brighton was a game maybe with not much to play for, this is really the game of being on the beach. Crystal Palace, nothing to play for anymore. They've done their business with winning the FA Cup. Wolves, same thing. This one, to me, just for fun, a little bit of fitness, get in there, get out, and that's pretty much it. Alex, you agree?
Yeah, I mean, for Palace, they'll still be on cloud nine after what happened at the weekend, winning the FA Cup, and it's for them just have a bit of fun, give some youngsters a run about, and hopefully, I think for them now that they've won the FA Cup and they're going to be in Europe next season, they'll have a few players that might even think about staying on for another year. Looking at Mateta, Eberechi especially.
Yeah.
But I think, and for Wolves as well, it'd be nice for them just to relax a bit because they're out of any relegation trouble, have been for a few weeks now, and they can have a bit of fun.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Clinton, did you watch Liverpool and Brighton in the end?
Yeah, I actually did. I did, and I was watching the game and I was just laughing, like, this guy's did much no. I mean, I don't even know why Ancelotti would even have some of his real team play. I would usually go find my team B.
No,
just
honestly.
enjoy yourselves, because you could clearly tell that they had not won. They're not taking the game seriously.
Yeah.
Brighton, of course, you could see them trying everything to win the game, which I was very happy for them that they won it because they were the ones that were showing that whole willpower. Of course, they came from. I think I started watching the game from when it was like 2-1, right? And at that point, I felt like, okay, hang on, wait, Liverpool, they are still playing, they are scoring goals. What's going on? Like I felt, the season is over. Just enjoy your celebrations and then next minute I saw Brighton 2-2, 3-2.
Yeah.
Okay, truly these guys are still in ghost mode. They are still. I mean, mentally they're probably still in Ibiza.
So you have no comments about Salah's performance?
I was not watching Salah actually.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I was just looking at the scores.
No, because Salah missed a lot.
I'm not surprised.
And
I mean, I'm not surprised.
I was waiting for you to somehow
Sarah
drag him.
When the game is serious. I'm not talking about when.
But it wasn't a serious game, though.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't a serious game. So that's
Why are you saying Sara?
Sorry, Sarah.
Did you say Sara? You heard that too.
I heard Sara.
Sara.
I was like, no, not me. Could never.
No, I meant Salah. Salah and Sarah though. Okay.
There's an L in Salah.
I know. But I mean,
Liverpool taking on Crystal Palace to wrap it up. Shantelle, both teams beached.
Yeah.
Just watch your team kind of one last time before a little break.
Literally. That's what I
Yeah.
was going to say. Just enjoy them before they go off on a break because I don't think we'll see anything spectacular. And if Liverpool loses, oh well. If Crystal Palace loses, I'm pretty sure it's the same sentiment. But I'm always excited to see.
Maybe one last time to see this group of players.
Could be some
Yeah.
players that are playing their last game
Yeah.
for Liverpool.
Well, we do know that in terms of one Trent Alexander-Arnold, of
Trent.
course, but some players coming in as well.
Darwin Núñez, Federico Chiesa.
Yeah. Do you think they'll get booed at Anfield as well?
No.
Nah.
Shame.
I was happy to see Chiesa getting a start because we don't see him starting a lot. So I was happy to see that.
Yeah.
And I was also happy not to I have to give that Szoboszlai shout. I was happy to see that goal being that so many persons always on me, get rid of the 8, get rid of your 8. It's quality.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll get into the transfers in a little bit. We do have Crystal Palace and Wolves later on today, but maybe Man City and Bournemouth is a little bit more enticing as Man City are trying to make that top 5 spot. Now, yesterday, Alex, I asked Shantelle and Lucrezia and Clinton who they thought would be finishing in the top 5 in the Prem. As we know, Liverpool, Arsenal, 1-2. But as it stands, Newcastle, Chelsea, and Aston Villa. City just a point outside. 2 games in hand, though. I mean, a game in hand, 2 games left to play for here. You think City get the job done?
I think so. And you look at the games that they've got coming up towards the end of the season, these last 2, Bournemouth at home, Fulham away. You'd expect, especially after the disappointment of losing to Palace in the FA Cup final. If you're looking at the table now, Arsenal, of course, on 71 points, so you'd expect them to win their final game. Assuming they do, they'll finish second. I think the biggest one that I'm looking at is Chelsea against Forest. That is...
So why are you looking at that one?
Because whoever wins that could be in that 5th spot, because...
Can I ask you for 3, 4, and 5? Because I asked the table yesterday as well.
So, obviously, 1 and 2 locked in, Liverpool, Arsenal. Newcastle... To be honest, I think City will finish 3rd. I think City will finish 3rd. I think they'll win their 2 remaining games. I think 4, will be Newcastle. Obviously playing against Everton, who don't really have... Well, they've got nothing to play for, just going out with a bang. They've already had their last game at Goodison, so they're probably not too worried about the result this week. 5th... Wow.
Is it going to come our way?
I don't know. I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Alex, you know you want to say
5th,
it.
I'm going to stick my neck out, and I'm going to say Aston Villa.
We are El Tri. I'm going to start calling us that, by the way, because Clinton and I said the same thing yesterday. Order, I don't know if we said Man City, Newcastle, Aston Villa, but we definitely had Chelsea being the team that dropped out.
I don't see Chelsea against Forest is a really tough game.
Yep.
Yes, Forest haven't been playing their best football recently. They've really dropped off. But Chelsea aren't exactly the most consistent side. Yes, they've won 4 of their last 5, but it's been...
You don't see them surprising you, Alex?
He wishes.
I mean, surprising you in a negative way, maybe.
To be fair, you have been singing this song since the beginning of the season, saying Chelsea are not going to make Champions League football. So if you were to turn now...
Yeah, no, I think it's obviously been, if you're looking at it from the point of view of the rebuild, the arc of the rebuild from finishing in a pretty dire position for the last couple of seasons. Obviously, since Tuchel left, it's been chopping and changing. Graham Potter, Pochettino, not being able to find that consistency, and bringing in Enzo Maresca, who I think quite a lot of people in the summer thought, is he the right man for the job? Is he going to be the one that's going to bring Chelsea back to the supposed glory days of years gone by, winning the Champions League and competing for Premier League titles? He's done a brilliant job, and I think he said it well himself the other day that the media do put a lot of pressure on Chelsea, but they have to remember this isn't the Chelsea of old. This is a completely new Chelsea with completely different squad, new players, a squad that hasn't really played together for a long time. And to be in 4th with 1 game to go is a brilliant achievement. I think we're all laughing at how big their squad at the beginning of the season, but they've competed. They're in the final of the Conference League. They're competing for a Champions League spot. I just think, given the inconsistency that they've shown this season, I'm not hopeful that they can. I think they'll maybe get a draw against Forest, but given the other results and the other teams, Villa are playing Everton, I just think it will be too. I just think it would be too much for Chelsea.
It's going to be tight regardless. Even if Chelsea don't make that Champions League spot, it's going to be by a margin of a point or less, you know. So, I mean, not less, obviously, but about a point. And as you said, still a good season considering everything that's happened with Chelsea, managers leaving, the rebuild, all the players, like you said. And, yeah, they are in a final. We have to remember that. I
think also, and I will have to clarify this, but Crystal Palace have got Europa League because they won the FA Cup.
9.
So
that's your answer.
Say Chelsea win the Conference League, but they finish 6th. That 6th spot would then go to 7th.
Yep.
And then 8th would get Conference League, am I right?
Yeah.
So Brighton could potentially still get Conference League.
9 potentially teams
in
the Premier League will play European football.
We could see Brentford in the Conference League next
year. It's crazy.
So 9 teams playing European football?
Because of the 5th place spot, because of the finals, and and everyone keeps pushing down.
Pushing down. Oh.
And obviously, we know it's a good segue because tomorrow there's the final.
I feel very upset knowing that this kind of rule is in place where you have 2 teams who have performed so badly one of them win each other and that one goes to play. It's almost like saying, no,
Are
listen.
you saying that the winner of the Europa League shouldn't get Champions League?
Yes, because
This year, for real.
I feel like
Wenger said it the other day. I don't know if you heard
I
Arsene
didn't.
Wenger saying the same thing. He said that he does feel like it's a bit unfair that the winner of the Conference League gets the Champions. Sorry, the winner of the Europa League gets the Champions League.
No, but to me, it doesn't make sense because why would somebody, let's say whoever they push down, work so hard to be there, and you, who ends up in 17, 15, 14, because you win a Europa League
You wish
for
you were
being
14.
there from previous season,
Yeah.
you automatically
No,
get...
but there would still, no one in the top 5 would get pushed out.
No, that's not what
No,
I'm saying.
that's not what
I'm
he's
speaking
saying.
about the ones because
He's talking about Man United and Tottenham being 16th, 17th, and then one of them is going to make it to
Champions League.
They don't deserve it because of
no, they don't deserve it.
But then again, you could flip that coin on its head and say they've got to the Europa League final, they deserve to be there. They know the rules
Yeah,
are
but
the
that's
rules.
but that's a competition on its own, right? Like in terms of the fact that they qualified for that Europa, for having some kind of good season the previous season, right? For me, this is a whole new season. There are people who have worked hard in this season.
They
and
also aren't related anymore. Do you know how in the Champions League, the teams that dropped out in group stage would then go to the Europa League?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore. So they kind of are two entities that it does seem strange that winning one qualifies you for another. They're not... Before, when you had the drop down, maybe, because they were more intertwined.
No,
but
of
I
course.
do know what you're
Of course,
saying.
Of course, it doesn't make sense, man.
Before we get more into this match, Shantelle, let's check in with socials.
Okay, well, socials has been very, very interesting. I'm seeing a lot of drag for Raheem Sterling. So, thank God, I'm reading it like how I feel like it was said. Thank God Raheem Sterling is going back to Chelsea. The guy's done. I've seen they want him to go to the Saudi League. Markinde says that Sterling was already done before going to Arsenal. No, he's finished. Finito. And Markinde says it's going to be Newcastle, Man City, Chelsea.
Hey.
So that's his order. So he sees Chelsea getting in there, Alex, actually.
It's possible. I don't see it happening.
Sorry.
And there's also
can you
one
read that
more.
last
Yeah, I'm
comment?
coming
Yes,
to it.
yeah.
Winning the Europa League should be an automatic qualification for the same Europa
Okay, so
League.
that's what Wenger said.
Yeah.
Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, he said that the
In-
winner
in-
shouldn't
in-
get Champions League.
In all honesty, I think that's even perfect.
But
Like-
okay, but then let's just play devil's advocate.
No,
Winning the FA Cup.
Sorry. Just before you play this devil's advocate, you know I hate the devil a lot. Right? Now, maybe I wouldn't even say winning the Europa League qualifies you to play the next Europa League. Because what about the teams who then work so hard to get Europa League spots in that same league? What happens to them?
Well,
Is
you
it fair
could
on them?
also argue that you worked so hard to win the Europa League.
Yeah, but you're winning the Europa League for the season that you worked hard to qualify for the Europa League.
No, that's what I'm saying. So
No, but those top four will still, or 6th and 7th place will still go to the Europa League, even if the winner is like a Manchester United at the bottom. It'll just be 3 teams from that league.
And it
but
also,
then again, 3 teams from-
an argument for that
So you're
is-
saying from that league, 3 teams because the winners came from that league. Is
Yeah.
that what
Like
it's-
the two that worked for the spots
they will
still
be
get
there.
them,
Yeah,
and
I
then
mean,
you have the
I would-
winner.
I would agree with that one.
Yeah.
There is an argument as well that says, if you look at the Premier League table now, Forest and City are currently in that 6th Europa League spot. Let's say it was a team like, I don't know, let's say it is City. Let's say a team like Bournemouth or Brentford were somehow in the Europa League. They finish 6th. Next season, they go on and win the Europa League. But obviously, they're not going to finish in the top 4. It gives a team like a Bournemouth or a Brentford or a smaller team to qualify for the Champions League, which makes a huge amount of difference to the club in terms of the finances.
But we're not going to be. But we're not going to be biased because you're a small club, though.
No,
I think
I'm
it
not
should come from
saying we
hard
should
work.
be biased, but that's what I'm saying. The hard work of them winning the Europa League gives them the opportunity to play in a tournament like the Champions League, which otherwise they perhaps wouldn't get the opportunity.
Yeah, but if they want to get your opportunity, they have to then work hard.
But they work
It is
hard to win
harder.
the
It is
competition.
harder, though. I think in the sense that smaller clubs don't get as much money. If you have a team like a Forest qualifying for the Champions League, that's going to get them a massive influx. Are Forest going to win? Absolutely not. But it gives it more, players are more enticed to play for them because they're competing in the biggest tournament. It brings more money to the club, so it can also bring them up a bit. I understand what Alex is saying. What I was going to say before was that, do you agree with this idea for the Europa League qualifying to the Champions League, the same for winning the FA Cup then? Because why, if you win the FA Cup, does that affect any tournament in Europe? That is a domestic English.
To me,
I'm
they
just,
should
you
not-
know what I'm saying?
No, I understand where you're coming from, and in all honesty, I see no reason why that should be happening.
Like you have
Just let these competitions be just keep them where they should be, not mixing this whole thing up because you have won something and then they take you to this other level. When there are people who have clearly worked hard. So I don't know, but yeah, I'm just no.
It does seem a bit strange though that winning a domestic cup
takes you to
Europe, because at least you can argue in the Europa League, okay, it's still European contention. You're just kind of moving up in that slot. But winning a domestic cup, what does that have to do with Europe? I'm just trying to think about it in all senses of it.
But then it's similar in that sense of you finish top 4 in your domestic league and you get European qualification. It's just another route of getting through. It's like the top 4, but it's just a tournament that you've won. And you see teams over the years that have played in the Europa League, Wigan, Swansea. These are teams that otherwise would never play in the Europa League. The teams have played in the Championship as well as playing in the Europa League, which is unbelievable.
I mean, we're going to see now Bologna as well for winning the Coppa Italia. It is a strange one. I think it's just we're kind of speculating now this year because we might actually see 9 Premier League clubs play across Europe. But time will tell. And one of them will, in fact, be Manchester United or Tottenham Hotspur.
Why do you have to end it like that?
Well, we have to. We're just starting it now. We're just starting it, guys. Reminder that
Sarah, someone.
No, but the way she said it though, she said it as if she was rooting for Manchester United, and then Tottenham came behind.
Someone on Twitter is actually asking, who do you think will win the finals?
Tomorrow
Man U or Tottenham?
Whoa.
I mean, you could literally just flip a coin and whoever is on. I don't think anyone can. To me, I'm not going to lie. This is how I see it. Terrible. A couple goals, gonna draw, extra time, penalties, and we're gonna see like 14 penalties. Back and forth, and it's just gonna be chaos, keepers saving, hitting it over the post, disaster after disaster, and then one team will just somehow squeeze through. Which one? I don't know, but I can see it being one of these ridiculous matches.
I've got myself a winner.
Yeah?
Manchester United.
Okay.
I agree with that.
I don't think
In 90 minutes.
Yeah. Actually, I think it's 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's going to be 2-1 Manchester United.
Why? Tell us a bit more about it.
I think I'm going 3-1 actually.
Looking at how they've played in the Europa League, yes, you could say the same about Spurs. They've deserved to get to the final. They've won their games to get here. But I don't know. There's something about Spurs, the occasion for some of these players. There's been that huge pressure on a club like Spurs to get this trophy. It's been It's been so long since they last won a trophy, and back in 2008 when they beat Chelsea in the Carling Cup final, as it was called back then. And I just think the pressure on them. I think perhaps you look at some of the players in that United squad that have a little bit more experience at the top level. You look at Onana, Mazwari, played for Bayern Munich, Bruno Fernandes, who's been there with United throughout for a long time. There are players in that squad that have had experience, yes, with Spurs as well, but I just think that pressure will be too much on Ange Postecoglou and his men.
But, go.
I was just going to say that, when you look at both teams and you're looking at which one you reckon would kind of have some kind of potential, say, for example, next season, when you look at the way they play, look at the kind of wins they have, especially when you look at Manchester United and how their wins against, like the Bilbao, both home and away, was seeming so, convincing. It just makes you feel like, okay, they have something that we might be seeing next season. Of course, you have Ruben Amorim, who people claim he's not had the players that he wanted. Say, for example, having a Gyökeres come to Manchester United, we will feel like he would have some kind of booster in terms of that forward force of Manchester United. So, just looking at the way the team spirits are currently, or even mentally, of course, they are not performing well in the Premier League. But, when they play, you can still see some level of hope. When you see the Amad Diallo coming back, knowing how good he is in front. Of course, I'm not a very huge fan of Højlund. Assuming we sign some kind of terrific striker, say, like a Victor Osimhen, I pray, or say, the Gyökeres comes in. And then you have the Alejandro Garnacho there. Bruno Fernandes, world-class, literally a proper world-class midfielder. I think he should be playing for a club like Real Madrid. But thank God he plays for a Manchester United. I believe if these guys are able to come together and play, I'm telling you for free, right? This is the first time I'm giving you words for free now, right?
No.
No, I mean today at least. I'm sure we would see a crazy Manchester United. When you look at even that, our defensive side, when you look at having even the likes of even the Kobe Manu, you have the Mason Mounts, who I believe is kind of like resurrecting now. If these guys would go on this spirit that they've had at these Euros into next season, I see Manchester United being in that first 5 for next season. Tell you for free. No, for real.
On that, actually, the last time they were in the Europa League final, you remember?
Villarreal, no?
So I was there.
How many penalties?
I was there, obviously, last week. And as I was walking up the stairs, I think I was going the wrong way. You know how you get lost in these stadiums?
As you would in La Ceramica too. It's like ancient.
I turned the corner and I saw something shiny out of the corner of my eye. And I was like, it's the Europa League trophy. And it was, of course, with all their celebrations against Manchester United with the, obscene amount of penalties. But
that was David De Gea.
I do think I agree with you, Clinton. I think if United can get Champions League football next season, bring in someone like, and we'll talk about this later, but bring in someone like a Victor Osimhen, bring in reinforcements, players that can really bolster your squad. They need 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could go up to 20. They'd probably need to replace the whole squad. There are about 3 of them that I'd probably keep. But if they can get Champions League football, yes, Amorim said it himself that he doesn't think they're ready for that sort of competition and that level of football, but it's already an enticing prospect to come and play for Manchester United. To play for Manchester United in the Champions League doubles that. And I think a player like Victor Osimhen would choose that over a move to, say, I don't know, an Atletico Madrid or a Juventus or I just think the allure of playing for a club like Manchester United, with the fact that they're in the Champions League, will do wonders for their transfer business this summer.
Shantelle, that comment?
Yeah. Well, the comments are saying otherwise, actually. Ambitious Prawn says Manchester United has lost 3 games against Spurs this season. I'm telling y'all for free. We're about to see another El Clasico case here. TJ also says...
Real Madrid just collected his shots like from nowhere. Man.
Literally.
No.
Hey, 4 wins.
No, for real though.
CJ also says this has been a year of football. A fairy tale for football. So Tottenham will win, and like Palace won their first trophy in the history of football, Newcastle got their first trophy in 70 years. Harry Kane got his first trophy. Tottenham deserved to win because Manchester United is a finished club.
Huh.
Wow.
Why would people think about finishing sentences like that, though? Like, do they not think about the mental health of... Like, do they not know that you have Manchester United fans? Even...
Do you know what I heard the other day? It was quite interesting. So Arteta's been at Arsenal for, 6 years now? Mm-hmm. He's been to, one final when he won the FA Cup? Mm-hmm. United, since then, have been to, 2 consecutive FA Cup finals? Europa League final? They've been to, I think, 4 or 5 finals.
They've only won 1 as well, right?
No, but in terms of going, they've won, they won 2 FA Cups, didn't they? Or was it just the 1? Let's see. They won the FA Cup under Ten Hag, and then obviously the
with
Carabao Cup.
But
I know the period of football that United have been through recently has been shocking by their standards, but they are still picking up little bits of success here and there. They're getting to Europa League final. Albeit you can criticise the level of teams in the competition compared to Man United, but they've had to beat some good teams to get there. Athletic Club, Real Sociedad, Lyon. Mm-hmm. These are clubs that are doing well in their respective leagues. And yes, they're 16th in the league, but to still get to a Europa League final, I think does deserve some praise.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, Alex, on that note, you have put together a combined 11?
I haven't actually yet.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Just kidding.
Okay, wait for it tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to have a combined 11.
Tomorrow when we have a quick 15-minute show, and here we're trying to fill 2 hours, and we're just going to sit around talking more about Manchester United and Spurs. Good one.
Combined 11?
Yes, between the 2. I'm gonna make one between the 2 teams.
How many Manchester United players do you think we'll be having on that list?
I mean, already at least 1.
I think you get 2.
At least 1.
I think there's 2 players.
Come on, man.
The thing is, pound for pound, I think Spurs have better players. Do they play as a team? No. Do they win? No. But if you look at the players and the positions, They're better players.
I think I can at least mention 5 players from Manchester United, though.
Name some, and I'll tell you.
I'll tell you.
At least, you know, Kobe Mainoo, Amad Diallo, Alejandro Garnacho,
Nope.
Bruno
Alejandro
Fernandes.
Garnacho, no way over Son. No way, no way,
No,
way.
of course, over Son. Okay, sorry, yeah, over Son.
So one down.
No, okay, one down.
To be fair as well, we have to take into account injuries. So no James Maddison, no Kulusevski. Spurs have got a long injury list coming into this FA Cup final.
So you see, that tells you that we'll be having a lot of United players in.
Probably. I mean, I won't spoil my choices, but Vicario over Onana.
Yeah. I mean, no, for real, I'll
Maybe
take
you'd
it.
put in a Harry Maguire at centre back.
Yes, I will.
Maybe
I
Jed
will.
Spence at right back. Sorry, in the defence, you'd squeeze a Jed Spence in there somewhere, depending if you're playing a back 5 or a back 4. As you squeeze him in a back 3 or one of the full backs. You look at that midfield. Bruno Fernandes has got to be in there.
No, he has to be. Now, the only person I know from United who has experience, who I will not put there, is only Casemiro, maybe.
But he's actually been playing a little.
He has been playing good. No, he has been good. He has been good. But I'm just saying, obviously, because of the fact that age is coming, and you know, you can see that he's not really the Real Madrid Casemiro. There's still, but then the class is still there.
Yeah.
You could still tell that he's still got the class. But if there's any player, say for example, this guy from Tottenham, man, the guy that has my colour, anyways.
Wow.
Tottenham.
Yeah.
What position?
Plays midfield.
Destiny Udogie
Basuma.
Bissouma.
or Pape Matar.
Actually, I love Bissouma. No, for real. Like, no.
And you say Kobe Mainoo, but he's obviously had his injury issues. And
he's not really been up to that level.
Yeah. Consistency-wise, maybe not in that squad, but it's difficult. It's difficult.
It's like you're between a rock and a hard place.
Markinde actually agrees with you, Alex, saying that it's just one from United and it's Bruno, that's all. Onana should not even be on the bench in the combined 11.
Wow.
I don't know about that.
Nah, but I think people are just being over. I feel like there are at least solid 5 United players that will get there, man.
I think you're reaching.
No. I think you know.
Let us know if there's a solid 5 United.
When you look at that Tottenham team though, there's only one player who's world class. Like
Son.
Yeah. Apart from Son, okay, maybe Son and Maddison, who is obviously injured.
Yeah, I think Maddison, Kulusevski as well.
Kulusevski, yeah, definitely.
There are players in that squad that would get in there if they were fit.
Yeah. The one you see, Brennan Johnson is somebody whom I would have rated, but I still, like, you could tell that he's got the potential to be a proper young, promising player. Mm-hmm. But the consistency is not there for me.
I think I'd still put Brennan Johnson there.
I mean,
Also, your back 4, Kuti's getting in there for sure. Mickey Van de Ven. United's defense is shocking.
I mean, when they are solid, they are solid.
I think.
Like when we've seen hang on, I'll just go to my United thingy now.
You going to your fantasy team?
Dorgu, does he get in there over Udogie?
No.
You're putting in Udogie in there?
Yeah. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you for free.
Bentancur?
No, I'm telling you that it's going to be Bruno, for sure, and maybe, like Clinton said, Casemiro. The rest, with these injuries.
You don't think Amad Diallo gets there?
Well, Amad Diallo has been injured.
Yeah, but he's come back and he's been class still.
So it's not based on the season. It's just based on who is available.
Yeah.
I think he's been brilliant.
No, of
Okay,
course.
put Ahmed in there then, because I do think
I mean,
he's
I
a
would have Harry Maguire there.
Over Van de Ven and Romero?
I don't think so.
I'd have Van de Ven over Maguire.
Yeah.
And Romero over Maguire.
Yeah.
I like Maguire, I can't lie. Like, Maguire is somebody whom I like. I love Maguire. I know that he did. No, but I see.
He scored that goal against Lyon.
No, Maguire. Let me tell you who Maguire is, right? Maguire comes through when you've written him off. This is and sometimes these are the players you want. Like, Maguire is that guy that gives you that last minute joy that you would never see coming.
Yeah, but then he'll also just bottle it for you for that other, 90%.
Exactly.
You want him to be there for you constantly.
No. But I think it depends, man. I think I'll give it to Maguire.
All right. Well, I guess
I think I'm just biased. I just like Maguire.
we'll find out tomorrow when Alex gives us the his combined 11. Shantelle, we do have some polls and some more comments if you want to go through them.
Yes, so I'll start with the polls. The first one I saw, will Liverpool win Premier League next season? 83% said no. 16 said yes.
Quick shout, way too early prediction. Who's winning the Prem next year?
Man City.
And okay.
Oh my God.
Me, Liverpool.
Why are we asking
Okay.
these questions?
I mean, we don't even transfer window hasn't even opened.
Oh
This
my
is such
God.
a
Come
this
on,
is
you have to do it. You have
a
to do
way
it.
too early prediction.
There's, okay.
Yeah. City. This City we are seeing now, they are preparing themselves for next season, especially with the introduction of.
They're just pump faking us right
No,
now.
no,
That's
like-
what's happening.
They would cook next season.
Yeah, I think the signings they brought in, the signings they will bring in,
Yeah.
the players they're getting rid of to reinforce that squad, Pep Guardiola will relish this
What about if
challenge.
Arsenal sign a striker?
No,
No, not
don't
it.
see them beating City.
And even though Liverpool did so well this year, you don't
It's
think they'll
always
be able
hard
to
go-
maintain it.
It's always hard to go. City have gone back to back to back to back. I just don't see Liverpool doing it. I'm sorry, Shantelle.
Well, I'll be here to
No, Liverpool
laugh
definitely not.
laugh
No, Liverpool.
when we actually do it again.
I don't think Liverpool are finishing the season well. Yeah, of course they won it, but it's more like.
I mean, but they're bringing in reinforcements, and it will only get better,
Yeah.
building on what you already have.
to hell with Liverpool.
I mean, that's what Real Madrid thought with Kylian Mbappe. I feel like we can't base it off that, though. You know, you never know how players are going to... It's always tricky dismantling a team and adding new players. You hope that it fits well, but... No, I think Liverpool is going to be in the title race, but I don't know.
I think you look at this Liverpool squad as well. I do think there are reinforcements that are needed in that squad. Van Dijk,
Yeah,
fantastic, but he's not getting any younger.
yeah. Neither are any of us, actually.
Wait. Hold on. How old is Van Dijk? Wait, how old is Van Dijk? No, because it's crazy just hearing that Van Dijk.
32?
Yeah, he's not. He's 33. He's not getting any
33?
younger.
Fair enough.
He's catching you up.
Fair enough.
But
Don't do that to Van
Actually, myself and him, we are age mate. Crazy, man.
you look at that squad. But Alisson, he's fantastic goalkeeper, one of the best in the world. But he's not getting any younger. They've signed Frimpong. I think that was a really well. They're signing Frimpong. That is what all the rumours are pointing towards. And apparently he's, I think, agreed a deal already. Conor Bradley. I think at right back they're fine. But you look at that centre back position. Konate's the one that you're looking at. He's going to be there. But you've heard Real Madrid are interested in him.
Yeah, I've heard
Will
that
they be
too.
able to keep a hold of him? Van Dijk's not getting any younger. Left back Robertson as well. He's not getting any younger. You look at that midfield, yes, I think they're probably all right in the midfield. McAllister, Szoboszlai, Endo, I think they need someone else in that midfield just to...
Konate did
I mean, we have Harvey Elliott. We can call up
I think-
at any point.
Konate and Rudiger.
Well, apparently Konate or Saliba are the two that Real Madrid are looking at.
I mean, they'll be
Not
very
both,
good
but
signings.
one
No,
of
not one of them, but that's.
But I also hear PSG wants Konate as well. So
If PSG wants Konate, Konate
PSG
is
want
more likely.
Konate, then PSG get
Definitely,
Konate.
PSG definitely gets Konate.
But,
But then again,
you look at the rest of the squad. Luis Diaz, we've heard rumours of
Well,
him
they also
leaving.
need to fix what's happening up front.
Darwin
with-
Núñez.
Yep. All these players going.
Salah,
You need a striker.
fantastic player, but
he's staying.
he's not getting any younger, and we've seen him dip off towards the end of this season. I think in the last 8 games he's got 2 goal involvements. There are a lot of holes in that Liverpool squad that I think need to be plugged, and I don't want to be that person that's I'm going to say this and look at me for this, but I think I could see Liverpool finishing 4th next year.
oh my God, Alex, stop.
Clip it. Save it.
No,
file.
no,
This
no.
time
Bring it up.
No. And my only counter to that, Alex, is that we've heard all of these before because these were the same sentiments. Oh, this person's not getting any younger. Oh, there's a new manager, yada, yada, yada. Goes on to win the league. So I'm saying that the odds are against us and the odds will always be against us in some sense, but we always come through. So I think we will come through again with these reinforcements.
I don't doubt that you've got the capability,
but
I just think there are-
fourth, Alex, is a bit of a stretch.
But I just think there are holes in that squad. You look at that centre-back position. Are you going to rely on... Yes, Van Dijk and Konate are fantastic, but say Van Dijk gets injured. Are you going to rely on Joe Gomez and Joel Kwanzaa?
Kwanzaa hasn't been bad, though.
No, but are you going to rely on them to win you a league title?
Yes.
I don't see them doing it. Left back, Tsimikas, Robertson. Are you going to rely on him?
Okay. Now you got me because Tsimikas has to go.
Alaye, you don't catch
But
me.
Yeah, no, you've got me.
the only area of that team that is, I think, set
Is the midfield.
Is the midfield.
Yeah,
You've got
definitely.
Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, of course,
Yeah.
McAllister. The forward line, other than, say, Salah and Cody Gakpo,
Okay, but let's say Liverpool gets Spendy. They want Isak, you know, and if we get him,
but if you're Isak and you're qualifying for the Champions League with Newcastle, are Newcastle going to sell him? They're like, we've got Champions League football.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't have to sell. If you want Isak, you're going to have to
Yeah.
spend 150 million.
Liverpool.
I
would
can't
never.
see Liverpool.
Liverpool.
spending
They're very
yeah, stingy.
Astute.
sorry,
astute.
astute.
Yeah.
I was
I
gonna
wasn't say stingy.
frugal.
Yeah.
Yeah, stingy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheap.
Sensible.
It's not really as insulting as cheap. It's just, they're a little bit more sensible, exactly, with their money. I lost my train of thought here. Alex, you said Liverpool to finish 4th. Give me 1, 2, 3, 4, just for fun.
City. Arsenal.
Now,
Arsenal. Second. Alex.
If Arsenal sign a striker,
Nah.
no, they finished second how many times? They've made it further than you guys in the Champions League without a striker. They're a techie team.
City, Arsenal. No. Yeah, okay, I'll be fair. City, Arsenal, Liverpool, and 4th,
Howe?
I'm going to go Newcastle.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'm not
no,
having Newcastle.
Villa?
I'm not going to put Newcastle in the top 4 because Champions League football again. I just think that effect
It's
we've
gonna
seen
have-
with
we've
Villa
seen
with
it
this
happen.
season. Yes, Villa have
We
got
saw it
that
at
5th
Newcastle
spot,
last season.
but I just think that will be an added difficulty. 4th, I'm going to say Chelsea.
Hello.
I was literally going to go Chelsea. Only if Chelsea they sign a
Sign
striker.
a proper striker.
Somebody
if
just said
Osimhen
that
goes to Chelsea,
actually.
for example,
Get rid of about
facts.
15 players.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
easy
Yes.
money.
Yes. I mean, I don't know if this whole. I mean, people were saying that Rodrigo could be going to Chelsea. Who knows? Like, I'm just. But then again, I don't think.
I see him going to Man City.
No, Man City looks more of a club that I see him shining because when you look at that Chelsea, I feel like Chelsea. Let's say Jadon Sancho, if they end up keeping him, right? In all honesty, Jadon Sancho is actually a very good winger. Yes, he has his ups and downs, but when it comes to actually on this, like,
Would you keep him at United? Because it's looking like Chelsea are going to pay that $5 million to send him back to United. Because they have that obligation to buy, but they also have the $5 million fee they can pay if they don't want to keep him.
my biggest problem is, right, Jadon Sancho, I don't mind him in Manchester United. However, if it's in Manchester United, that works. Yeah, because, the problem is not a Jadon Sancho problem. If whatever is the issue with Manchester United is actually solved among the players, where they start playing together and everybody's able to show their individual talent. Say we have an Anthony come back, right? Like, obviously, we've seen the likes of Scott McTominay, who's meant to be one of the hearts of Manchester United leaving. Like, these are the caliber of players that, if they are playing to that standard but together, listen, it's I will still see Jadon Sancho cook there.
I think he's quality because
He's
quality. You see him perform when he was at Dortmund. Chelsea, he shows up when he needs to show up. But the problem is Man United. Like, you're right. If Man United actually works and can bring out the best in him, I don't think he's bad. But the problem is United, him working in that Man United system.
That's also another thing you have to factor in. Will he want to stay at United?
That's the next question. I mean, the question is, people like Anthony now, would he want to stay in Manchester United after having all these glories getting from Real Betis? Like, imagine all.
Imagine
like, for me,
Betis win the Europa Conference
Conference
League.
But then
Like-
also, if you're Anthony, and this is without any disrespect towards a club like Real Betis, if you're Anthony, you're looking at the situation, you're thinking, I can do better than Real Betis.
So that means you would rather play with Manchester United in
No,
Champions League,
I don't
assuming Manchester obviously wins
Oh,
Tottenham.
if I was Anthony, I'd pick Manchester United in the Champions League over Betis in the Europa League.
But would you not be scared that it will now be risking all this stuff that's like? Let's say it comes back to United and becomes the Anthony.
And the cloud comes
But
back
you,
over
but
him.
you'd
I don't
want
know.
to- but you'd want to prove doubters wrong.
Yeah,
but it doesn't
you
always
have all the
work
time.
that way.
Nah, but it's not even
It's
about
not
that.
black and
It's not-
white.
yeah, well, that's
No,
one.
but I
Number
think a
two.
big part of him would want to do that because he's
I
failed.
think so, but there's no guarantee. It
No,
is a
no,
risk,
no.
right? Because do you remember how much stick he got at Manchester United?
And he also came
mean,
out
him
and
going to Real
spoke
Madrid-
about that, actually. So I feel like he might just choose his mental health and happiness, because he did speak about how much he struggled and how hard it was for him at Man United. So why go back to that?
Listen,
That's trauma for him.
Him going to Real Betis, first of all, was even a bet because nobody knew there were two things that was going to happen. You see that he's gotten there to still be the Anthony of Manchester United, and now his career will be done. Because remember, there are some players that, it's actually sad for me bringing up this, but when you look at Kelechi Iheanacho now, from Leicester, it was almost like the senior man was almost deeming, and then boom, he went to Sevilla. Now, everybody would have thought, including myself, that this was going to be some kind of career bounce back in terms of his ability on the pitch. And now where is he? He's now in Middlesbrough. That's championship football. Like, I mean, this is a senior man. Like, for me, you just don't know what's going to look. I mean, when you look at a Victor Osimhen, for example, with everything that happened to him in Napoli, and then going to Galatasaray, having the whole, is it coming to Chelsea or not? The fee, they can't pay him 100. They are wanting to pay him 150. Like all of this stuff. Now, going to Galatasaray could have done two things. One of them, he would have now been rubbish because they would have said, okay, now this is the player who want to pay this amount. He's not even. But he's gone there now. He's proven everybody wrong, right? So you just don't know which way he's going to go. There are players who they go to somewhere, it works for them. There are some of them that anywhere they go to, it's almost like they're finished. So for me, Anthony, if I was him, fam, they win conference. He's happy there. They love him. It's not like Real Betis is like a rubbish team. I mean,
No,
look at where...
For a man like him, do you not think it's similar to the situation with Osimhen at Galatasaray? Yes, it's fantastic that you won the title. You've done so well, like Osimhen has. And this may be not how he's thinking. He may be happy playing there, and I don't want to criticise him for anything, but I feel like it shows a little bit of a lack of ambition if you want to stay at Betis. For a player of his name, the pressure that's been put on him and the price tag he's had when he joined United from Ajax, I think for him, if I was him, if I were advising him, I'd say you can do better than Betis.
So do you mean that him coming back to United, of course, let's give, for example, United plays Tottenham and then they lose the game. They are now in 17th or whatever in the Premier League. So do you think it makes sense for him to come back at that point? Or is he coming back just because they are going to play Champions League football?
I still think coming back to United to prove doubters wrong or looking for another option, a bigger club than Real Betis.
Let us know, guys, what you think. Well, actually, we'll try and get a poll up on our socials that whether or not, you think that Anthony should stay at Real Betis or go back to Manchester United or maybe find a new club. Shantelle, shall we check in with socials?
Yeah, we have
They're
quite
going
a lot
off.
going on. So I'm going to start with the whole Europa League. So we still have predictions that came in. AD Samuels, for example, said that it will be an easy win for Spurs, 3-1. Marking Day says that Tottenham will win on penalties. Ibidon says that this match, and he's referring to the Europa League finals, will be the worst final in the history of football. And moving along to the conversation that we're just having about Liverpool, Raymond, and these are the type of comments I like seeing, by the way. Liverpool will win the quadruple if the haters like it or not. TJ says that Crystal Palace is the team to watch for next year. So I'm guessing that they're seeing Crystal Palace finishing in the top 4, top 5. And Ambitious Prone says Liverpool finishing 4th. Come on, Alice.
Maybe it wasn't.
Liverpool are going to have a big summer. Alex Nunes and the likes will be leaving. Liverpool will be getting a left back. So just wait until the winter is over.
I mean, those names that have been mentioned, Frimpong is through the door. They're looking at Milos Kerkez at Bournemouth. Mamadashvili, whether I think he'll take a back seat to Alisson. I still think to bring in all those players and have an instant impact to win the league again, I just think it's too much.
Don't doubt Arne Slot.
Given how Pep Guardiola and how badly Man City have done this year and how they've reinforced this side and how much they'll want to bounce back and how long they've been looking at this. They've brought in Omar Marmoush, they've brought in Nico Gonzalez. These aren't panic signings. These are signings that have worked out. I just think City will be too good for everyone next season.
Well, we'll see. Quick one for you guys, talking about that combined 11 between Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur and who's available. Who are you guys playing as your number 9, Højlund or Richarlison?
Or Solanke.
Well, let's go between the two.
Out of those three, I'm playing Solanke.
I said 2.
Sorry.
It's not good, is it?
Richarlison, I think. Just.
Clinton? I know. Okay. That was enough. That was enough.
No.
Richarlison over Højlund?
In all honesty, I love Richarlison. Okay, I just seem like that player that when you need him, that's when he shows up.
Can you do the Richarlison dance?
No, I can't.
Pigeon?
Sara, I don't know.
Do you remember when he scored the bicycle in the World Cup and the pigeon?
And then the pigeon.
So Richarlison over Højlund?
100%.
Yeah, it was a silly question.
100%.
It's a bit
Anytime,
silly.
any day, in my dreams, whatever, whenever. Like Højlund needs to be playing in some of. I think he should be playing in our Sunday league in Luton, man.
Højlund?
Yeah. For real.
That's a bit harsh.
No, I mean, but
He's not that bad.
if to me it's that bad. Like, wait, do you know how many goals he has this season though? I think it's about 3
Off the top
or
of my head,
4.
no.
No, check it though. I think it's about 4.
Rasmus Højlund, 4 goals in 31 matches, 6
Oh!
goals in 14 in the Europa League, though.
No. Listen, he came here for the league first of all, right? Mm-hmm. Bro,
So across all competitions, 10 goals in 50 games.
10 goals in 50
But
games.
look at how badly United have been and look at the service that he's not getting.
Nah, but that's not it. Though. Wait, there are some.
Yes, I know he should have, he can do better.
For me, he doesn't have the aura of a Manchester United striker.
Does
But-
anyone have the aura, though, right now at Manchester United?
Somebody just said that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody was like,
Let's say Bruno Fernandes always has a Manchester United aura. Like,
That maybe just him, though. But there's so many players on that team that don't have the Manchester United aura right now.
sometimes, yeah.
The team doesn't have the aura, right?
Yes.
So I don't think you can just pick out Rasmus Højlund for
No,
that.
but Rasmus Højlund, I'm still picking him out. He's not. I'm tired of seeing him.
So who do you want to come to replace him?
Osimhen.
Besides Osimhen. Let's have a conversation.
Okay.
Well, because we talked about Osimhen yesterday, we know Clinton's number 1 to come to Manchester United is Osimhen, knowing that his loan is over at Galatasaray and he wants to get out of Napoli. We know this. But let's say Osimhen doesn't work out. Who are you looking at right now? Who's available? Who's in the price range? Who would fit?
Isak.
Why?
I don't think he'd leave.
Would he go there?
exactly,
I
be
said you
so
don't
for
need
real
him
right
there,
now,
right?
Clinton.
I know you wouldn't go, but you have-
But I also said what would work? Salary rise. Who
tell you
would
Kylian
fit?
Mbappe.
Realistically.
There's one name that I'm thinking of at the top of my list.
Gyökeres?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Gyökeres goes to Arsenal. All day. All day you
Let
have
me
a
tell you,
team.
if there's one person I would want to see in Arsenal, it's Isak.
Yeah, but
I
I
think
think
he looks
Alex
like-
is right. Why would Isak leave if Newcastle qualify for Champions League? They've won the Carabao Cup. After 70 years without a trophy, this team is so,
Would you like to see Isak in Barcelona?
Yeah, but I wouldn't. He's not going to come. Of course I would like to see him.
Why is he not going to go?
I don't think he would leave.
Barcelona probably couldn't afford him.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. But I
Yeah,
don't.
but if they could, would you not?
But
do you not think
Newcastle
that
has
he's
a
more of
promising future right now, as do Barcelona. But I think it would be a matter of, okay, do you want to leave the Prem to play in La Liga? I don't know. I mean, if you're him, Barcelona's a bigger club than Newcastle, of course. But he obviously has done so much with this club. It depends on, does he want to continue working with them?
Have you guys just thought about having Rafinha, Lamine Yamal?
I told you I want him. I don't think it's going to happen.
No, but I think when you look at Isak.
What about Victor Osimhen to Barcelona?
I don't want to
No, I don't want that. I
Yeah,
don't
you
want
have to
that.
be in Barcelona. If Victor Osimhen comes to Barcelona,
No, I don't want him there.
switcheroo. No, but it doesn't matter if you want. If he goes there,
No, I know. If he goes there, I'll be happy
You're-
for him. But ideally, I wouldn't want him to go Barcelona.
yeah.
I feel like he's not. He in all sincerity, I don't. I mean, he's on a shine, of course. Like Victor Osimhen walks into any team right now, if you ask me. But there's this kind of clubs where when you look at the player, look at the club, you're like, this is where I would love to see you play for. Barcelona is not the one for me for Osimhen.
There's another name on that potential list of strikers for United. Brian Mbeumo.
To me, actually, you know what? I was even speaking, of course, Crystal Palace. I've not
Mateta.
qualified. No, I would have loved to see Mateta in United. I know, he's not rated, but I overrate this guy. Like, this guy is the most underrated striker that we don't speak about. My man in the right team, where he's going to receive service, he will cook. Like, he will first start by frying. No, he will start by boiling it first. Yeah.
Marinating.
You know, yeah, sorry, not marinating. Yeah, no, he would chop.
Wow.
He would chop and then marinate. And then after marinate,
Slowly boil
slowly, I think slowly boil. No,
or pan fry.
but whatever he's going to do, is going to
Yeah.
be cooked well.
But would you not? Does it feel a bit? And I don't want to be too critical towards Mateta, but for a club like Manchester United, shouldn't they be aiming a little bit higher?
I think that Mateta is higher. Like I said, he's just underrated. Put him in the club where he should be.
Would you
This
take
guy-
him over Gyökeres?
Of course, I'm not going to. Why? Because Gyökeres now has not played in that high level and he's proven himself. So he's pretty much. We don't know. Of course, I believe in Mateta, but we don't know if the spirit of Manchester is either going to affect him or we don't know if the club is going to be bigger than him. I don't know where he could be, but I still trust him. I trust his abilities. I know that he's a top class striker. Everything I want in a striker. When we look at the likes of Haaland, Mateta has it. The only difference is Mateta plays for Crystal Palace. But when you see the hustling, when you see the positioning, when you see the opportunity, when you see the link-up play, Mateta has every single thing. When you look at the height, the body, the size, even trying to hold defenders, get the ball, find somebody to run through, this guy has it.
So you think that Manchester United go for Mateta?
If they go for Mateta and they say we are signing Mateta, I would not sleep for 2 nights.
Oh, what would you be doing?
I would just be thanking God.
Oh, yeah.
For real.
Not partying. Before we get into this transfer talk a little bit more, Clinton, you actually have something.
Oh, yes. Something very special. Something very, very special.
It's almost, no?
So, guys, look at this beautiful jersey. Look at it. It's written, Real Madrid! Okay, so basically, we have this one jersey that we are giving away. We are not just giving away an ordinary jersey. Look at it. It's signed by literally nearly all the players from Real Madrid. I can tell you the signature of everybody here. Okay, that one is from Militao. That one
You're
is
just
from...
going that
No,
one.
no, that one.
Wait.
That one is from Militao. That one is from
I already know
Rodrigo.
Vinny's
That
right
one is
there
from
by the
Vini.
E.
Oh, look at Kylian Mbappe's one just at the top there. Look at Modric.
You've
Look
also
at-
Jude
realised
Bellingham
they put
is
their
right
numbers
beneath
next
the
to it.
flyback.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So listen, this is some, and you guys know we obviously have partnership with Real Madrid. So this one is not, I signed it by myself. Obviously, of course, I'm very important. I'm an important player, but no, I didn't do this one. This one is Real Madrid stars. We're going to be giving out this jersey to one lucky fan. All you have to do is to go to our YouTube page. Go there and subscribe. It's Sporty TV on YouTube. Subscribe and tell us on the comment section of any of the videos you'll be seeing there. We're going to check. Tell us why you want this one to be sent to you.
And when are we giving it away?
We are giving it away on the 31st of May. Champions League. Listen, the day the Lord will be making. Or the day the Lord has made in the future, where we are going to be finding out.
Can I enter?
Yeah, go on. Not you.
Can I enter?
If I woos you. Go and Google if I woos. Yeah, so Champions League final night, we are going to be giving this away to anybody that we are going to be randomly choosing on the night. Am I correct on that one, Sara?
That is right, guys. So remember, if you want this Real Madrid signed jersey by all the stars at Real Madrid this season, make sure you subscribe to our... No, disgusting. I'm off the set. Nope. Nope, don't do that.
No, get him.
Nope.
Give me my jersey.
No,
just get my jersey.
no.
Look, I said, come on. Give me the jersey, man.
Disgusting.
No,
I don't
today,
like it.
no, come, don't worry. Come.
No,
Just come.
don't.
Okay, give it to me.
It's
Thank you.
for a fan.
Thank you, give it to me.
It is
Oh,
for...
magic.
Yes.
Where did that come from?
Yeah.
Oh, Clinton.
Oh my God, this is for yesterday with
This is
Barcelona.
for a fan. Barcelona, you're gonna... Okay, first of all, you're ruining the jersey. Second of all, that's where it belongs. Okay, guys.
God.
If you want to win, stop! You're actually gonna ruin my hair.
No, this is Madrid.
Okay, there you go. Just leave it over there. Just leave it over there, please. Please. Are we done?
All right, yeah.
Guys, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can get a full signed kit for Real Madrid and leave a comment. Tell us why you want it. Markinde, I'm looking at you. I think it's well deserved. So let us know. All right, back to transfers. Shantelle, let's talk about Jeremy Frimpong because that has been obviously. We've spoken about it a little bit. Alex has alluded to it. But what do you make of that signing, obviously, to replace Trent Alexander-Arnold?
I like it. I like it. I think that he's agile enough. I think he is defensive enough. We've seen where he has played as wing-back, and we've also seen where he has played in the traditional right-back role. So I feel like he can come in and let us try to forget about Trent and move on. And not only that, we've seen where he has the attacking abilities as well. We've seen him do crazy assists, and that's something that Trent normally prides himself off. He and Robbo had this competition who had the most assists, So I feel like it's a good replacement coming into this setup, and not only that, he'll be playing along some of his national teammates. He'll have Van Dijk, he'll have Cody Gakpo. So I feel like he will blend into the team really well, and I'm not upset about this signing at all.
As of 4 hours ago, he's signing his contract in the next 24 hours.
Let's go.
Do you think he's defensive enough and what Liverpool need in that sense? Because he is more of a wing-back. He hasn't played that full-back position in a while. We knew that, and one of the issues with Trent was obviously his defensive tactics. He was
But we've seen him play enough minutes in the traditional right-back role, so I feel like I have that confidence. Like, I don't think he's terrible, but he's not a worse replacement than Trent. I don't think we're getting a bad deal, like, oh, Trent is gone and we downgraded. I don't think it's a downgrade.
Alex, what do you think?
No, I think he's a fantastic signing. He's obviously got time on his side. He's only 24. He's shown such promise in the Bundesliga for Bayer Leverkusen, and I think when you look at his stats as a defender, yes, he's more of a wing back, but just looking here, so he averages 2.5 ball recoveries a game. He averages interceptions are a little bit lower. He averages 1 tackle a game. He averages just under 0.4 average of times he's been dribble past per game, which is, for a defensive player, what you want to see. 0.4. If you're getting dribble past less than 1 time a game, that's what you want to hear. For a manager like Slot, who they've seen, I think Liverpool, yes, we knew them for their rock and roll football under Jurgen Klopp, but it's become a little bit more streamlined, I think that's fair to say. I just think he does have that defensive capability, and going forward, I think he'll offer so much. And I can see him doing really well at Liverpool. I think he'll slot right into that team.
Oh, get off except for that one. Clinton, how do you feel about Jeremy Frimpong going to Liverpool?
I think it's an upgrade. I don't think it's a downgrade from Alexander-Arnold. As a matter of fact, right now, I think I haven't rated him over Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold, I think, is becoming washed off. Remember, I was saying that this him coming to Real Madrid, I think, the Madridistas would.
I think we'll come back to this in 9 months.
And
I think Trent will do very well at Real Madrid.
I don't think so.
I always the style of La Liga.
I trust my spirit.
Going forward,
I trust my spirit.
I also don't think he'll play at right back that much in the first couple of months of the season. I think he'll play more in the midfield.
So you think they are going to be signing a proper right wing?
No, I think Carvajal will be the main right back for Real Madrid next season.
I mean, assuming because let me tell you, they are not going to just trust on Carvajal because he's coming back from injury. We don't know if he's going to have that spell of player coming back from a long injury. When it's always like, okay, we don't know if he's going to fall back to injury again. I mean, we see what's happening to Ed Militao. Like, you don't know what the situation will be, especially with this kind of long-term injuries.
Yeah.
It's not one of them where, okay, it's like a couple of weeks, you come back and then you kind of, then, I think Real Madrid having their hopes on Carvajal, I think it will be a proper mistake looking at what's happened to them this season. Now they will be looking at least having every single defensive position, having at least 2 world-class defenders, or at least 1.5. So say, for example, if you have a Fran Garcia, you should be having somebody like proper above him, whom you tend to be like, okay, it's only when this player is not on the pitch, but not because of injury, but it's more of because maybe we'll have some kind of important game in the future. Let's just use you. But then again, you are still equal to the tax. They would be able to trust you. Alexander-Arnold coming to, depending on Carvajal, I think it's a very big mistake. I think Alexander-Arnold needs to go there and know that, listen, I'm coming as a right winger. And we know he's obviously of course, what he's done in Liverpool, yes, we don't have this phrase or this word for footballers that play in this certain way, but for me, he's a defensive attacker. you know, he's more of the guy that wants to be very offensive.
Yeah, attacking.
Offensive defender. Offensive defender.
Yes, that.
Or is that an offensive defender?
But what's that old adage? Attack is the best form of defence.
Okay, that just feels like a roundabout for me.
We're going in circles.
We are. All right, a couple other players linked to Liverpool: Alex, Miles, Kirkez, Florian Wirtz, maybe.
Well, we've heard recently that Man City have, I think, pulled out is maybe the right word, but they've taken a step back after, I think, realising how much the deal would cost altogether. I think the estimation was near to 300 million in terms of contract and add-ons and signing on fees and fees in general. But I think if I was to make a prediction, I think he'll go to Bayern Munich.
Is there something a bit dull about that transfer? I'm sure Bayern Munich fans are overjoyed with the idea of Florian Wirtz, a very, very talented, fast-paced, brilliant player overall. We've seen him at the club level and the national team level. He's an absolute superstar, and he really will be, it looks like, for the foreseeable future. But to go to Bayern Munich, I mean, I think we've seen this with Bayern Munich many a times with kind of picking apart some of the other teams in the Bundesliga, especially Borussia Dortmund. But would it not be, I mean, Shantelle, obviously you're the Liverpool fan here, but, you know, making a jump from a team like Bayern Munich to Liverpool, and you're going to the Premier League as well, it would be incredible for Wirtz.
I'd like to see him in the Premier League, I think. I mean, you look at that Liverpool team, is that something that you think Liverpool would need? I mean, you've got in that midfield, McAllister, Gravenberch. You'd probably say Endo would take a backseat role, but there are...
I mean, he's already...
Yeah, but you wouldn't see him starting. I think if you were to start in that midfield three, you'd probably get McAllister and or Szoboszlai with McAllister and Wirtz in the midfield.
The thing is, we know the nature of Liverpool, and being that I think midfield were okay, I don't think they would actually pursue him. And not only that, pay that much. If Man City is like, and they have the oil money, and they are saying, oh, it's too much money, Liverpool is definitely not going to go, especially because our midfield is already so good. We don't need a Wirtz.
How do you see Bayern Munich lining up then, Alex, if Florian Wirtz gets onto this side? I mean, the idea of him and Musiala playing together for club and country, it is a little bit dangerous.
I mean, it's similar to that situation with Real Madrid. You look at how they line up in that midfield. I'm looking at Joshua Kimmich and Goretzka in the holding midfield roles. Olise, Sané, you've got options on either side. But do you drop Jamal Musiala, or do you play them as 2 10s and then take out Goretzka or Kimmich?
Yeah, you take out Goretzka or Kimmich, absolutely.
Which one of those? Because I think you take out. I think I'd keep Kimmich.
Yeah.
I'd start him, and then I'd have Wirtz and Musiala in that 10 role.
Yeah.
But you could also then try and put Musiala out on the wing if you wanted to. I know he's not been. I do think his best position is in that number 10 role behind Harry Kane, but. That would be some dangerous attack, that would be. Can you imagine? Michael Olise, Florian Wirtz, Jamal Musiala and Harry Kane.
That's crazy, man.
But also, I think, makes Germany a little bit scarier knowing that these two players are playing at the club level as well. I mean, that bond that they're going to have, you've seen it with some of these, Pedri and Gavi, let's say. But, yeah, it's dangerous for sure. Clinton, there's one man that might be coming back to Manchester United from Aston Villa.
Marcus Rashford. Hey!
Oh, man.
I honestly just forgot that Marcus Rashford is still in Manchester, you know. But that's the thing again, like, I think he's doing okay with Aston Villa for now, and maybe he still needs maybe half or one full season with them. If it's possible, like, all of these are players that have gone, right?
What's that about?
The other badge on that graphic.
I don't want that player.
that one has been going around.
That one's been going on for 2 years. But I think the most recent rumor is that he's going back to Manchester United. So we might just be a little bit behind on our graphics. The Barcelona rumor has been. I think,
in the last week, I've heard.
But it's been going for about 2 years.
No.
Like
but
I've heard an update.
A recent one is that he's willing to accept less. Is that the same one you've heard?
Yeah. So he's willing to
reduce his salary
to go to Barcelona.
Sit on the bench. Like, you wouldn't start over Rafinha, that's the thing.
That's true.
But you
And
could put
so-
him up front.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you wouldn't start over Lewandowski.
No, but
Lewandowski.
Lewandowski as well, who's not getting any younger.
Yeah,
he'll
but
still
I'd
start.
rather have a more clinical striker than Marcus Rashford up front, like a proper striker, because I
You
think
guys were saying that you guys can't pay, though. You don't think you'll be able to afford this guy?
I don't really want him to be. I think we need someone that's more
I think
of.
this guy will cook in this.
But then that links to another rumour we heard about Ferran Torres going to Aston Villa. Which would then mean Rashford doesn't stay at Aston Villa and he stays at Man United. And then that allows Barcelona to bring in someone like Marcus Rashford. I don't think it will happen. I think he'll stay at Man United. But
But do you think he would want to stay in Manchester United, though?
it's another one of those ones. Do you want to prove yourself?
But that's the thing. I don't think players are now beginning. I mean, remember when I was speaking to Ademola Lookman with leaving, having gone through
Coming back to England.
Yeah, to prove himself. And for me, I think if I could remember the response, he was not even keen on thinking about the future. He wasn't even thinking about this whole. I think players have gone past where they are looking at wanting to prove themselves. They are not looking for where they are happy. Okay. Now, of course, everyone keeps shouting, "Osimhen to the Premier League, come and prove yourself here."
You keep shouting.
No, it's not just me. No,
I know, I'm
yeah,
kidding.
no, of course. I mean, I am shouting, to be honest. But these players, they are not even looking at this whole "let me come prove myself." They are happy. Remember, I spoke to Victor Boniface at some point as well, and I was saying, would you not love to come do it in the Premier League or even come to the La Liga? But if they're happy in individual clubs, they are performing, they love them. Why not? They may as well just stay if it's working for them. Now, Real Betis having Anthony, he's performing. Now, people will say, bro, come back to United. Come and tell them who you are. Like, you're back to your... But sometimes, apart from you wanting to prove yourself, the club could affect you. And it just means that it's not like you're bad.
Yeah.
It's just that there's a force with the club that's
Yeah.
just not working for you. It doesn't mean that you have something to prove.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So,
No, it does. What would you like for the future of Marcus Rashford? Because this is your boy.
For me, I would love to see him go shine in a league, in a top 4 team, where it works for him. Okay? Now, what we've seen with Aston Villa, unfortunately, obviously, he played Champions League football. We saw him have some kind of brilliant performances, here and there, scored goals, gave assists. But Aston Villa, they are still not that team that you can say they will compete to that level where they'll be playing, Champions League finals. Like, I want Marcus Rashford to go to one of those kind of teams. Say, for example, of course, I don't see him in a team like Arsenal, but you mentioned Barcelona. Like, I don't see him being the caliber of player that will play for Real Madrid, right? But I see him definitely, having a good time in Barcelona.
I think if he doesn't stay at Man United, I don't see him going to another Premier League club.
I have to agree with Alex, actually.
I think if he does go elsewhere, I think he'll go abroad.
But do you not think, and when you say abroad, like, would you be looking at, say,
You could
maybe
see-
some kind of Italian club or something?
Could see an Italian club. You could look at a club like Inter Milan.
I was just going to mention Inter, but in fact, before you mentioned Inter, I was even going to AC Milan. Because
AC Milan as well.
He won't
don't
want to
know
go to
what's-
AC Milan right now, though.
No. But I think a big part of him will want to stay at Man United. He's a Man United lad.
You want him to go to Real Madrid?
Oh,
Well, I don't know what's happening.
No, I mean, I was just reminding them.
I just
Vincent just
We'll
does what he
remind them,
wants
we'll
when he
remind
wants.
No, I mean, this is Real Madrid. Guys, remember, this is going to be going to a fan, okay? It's going to a fan. All you need to do is subscribe on our YouTube channel. And we are going to be giving this out to somebody random. Just let us know why you need it. It's signed by nearly all the Real Madrid players, including myself.
It's not signed by Clinton. Don't worry.
yeah, we'll tell you for free. It's not signed by Clinton.
Yeah, if it was me, you would have to be paying to get that info, man.
Shantelle, should we go through some comments before we continue talking about some transfers?
Okay, so thanks to Clinton, I'm being called a macabrone. So AD Samuel
please.
says...
In fact, for anybody that's been talking about their Igbo names all this while, I feel like I owe you something.
You're being
because
called
it just
what?
means that you guys are...
Alex wasn't here, so
No.
Clinton...
Alex is getting his own Igbo name today.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry. But Sarah... Wait, let's see if Sarah remembers that Igbo
I don't.
name.
It's Chin.
Wasn't a name Amor?
Oh, no, wait.
It's right
It's coming.
there. Chin.
It's coming.
Is there a B in there?
No, there's no B.
I can't.
Chinenye.
Chinenye.
Chinenye, you see how cute it is? No, wait. So she's Chinenye. Mm-hmm. And you see, everybody agrees that you're actually an Amaka, I've not noticed it.
what?
Amaka.
What?
No, her name is Amaka now.
Amaka.
Because
What's Alex's name?
Everybody, sorry, I'm going to give Alex a name.
Okay.
Everybody on the Sporty Show, they all have an Igbo name. So obviously their original Nigerian name. We said that was Sara. Sara is called Chinenye. Chinenye. Do you remember the meaning of your name now?
God is
Like God's gift.
God's gift.
God gives. You know?
God gives.
Yeah, you know, Chinenye, Chinenye. Amaka, Chiamaka. Chiama. No, every Nigerian knows that you look like a Chiamaka. Look at her face, though. Oh, take the camera on her.
No.
Oh, no. Look at Chiamaka. Look at Chiamaka. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Go to Chiamaka's face so they see Chiamaka. I feel like giving you an Igbo surname as well. Hey, Chiamaka.
Oh my God.
Chiamaka Okuli.
But it's the name that is the fact that you mentioned this yesterday and it stuck. Because I'm like, wait, Amaka. Oh, that's me.
Yeah, that's Chiamaka. And then I remember we give Lucrecia. Lucrecia was Amarachi.
Amarachi.
Yeah, but I'm changing her own now. She actually looks like a Chioma. It makes sense now.
Chioma.
Lucrecia, wherever you are, your name is now Chioma.
Someone saying Alex.
Alex is
Chinedu.
Chinedu. No, Alex, your name is actually Chinedu. You look like a Chinedu.
Chinedu.
No, you look like a Chinedu.
What does he mean?
What does that mean?
God leads me.
Ah,
You know, so I'm going through the leadership of, like, he leads me wherever or whatever.
Chinedu.
Chinedu. Chinedu can't get him now. How are you again?
Chinedu.
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 Chinedu Ashmore.
Chinedu Ashmore.
Chinedu Ashmore.
There's another one.
Chineye Furaria.
Markinde saying my Igbo name would be Ifeanyi.
Ifeanyi is not bad, you know, but I feel like you are more of a Chinedu than Ifeanyi.
I think I prefer Chinedu.
No, Chinedu. No, Chinedu is good. Chinedu is good. Chinedu is a very popular one. You know, all the Chinedus in Nigeria, they're all stubborn boys. Like, those guys are cultists.
I wouldn't say I'm stubborn.
No. I mean, I feel like your own Chinedu is one of those kind of nerdy Chinedu. You know?
Wow. Wow.
Well, shall we get back to the comments?
Yeah, let's go.
for it.
So
I'm be quick.
So I was being reminded, Amaka Brown, that's me. Don't deceive yourself. Apparently, Liverpool will go trophyless next season. Abdul says, back to the whole Anthony conversation, Anthony standards is not up to United standard. And AD Samuel said, does United have a standard? Now, I found that quite funny, so I'm reading it. Jordinel says, Osimhen is a fantastic player, but the salary is the problem, so a lot of clubs will be reluctant to pay such high wages. I'm also seeing Jeremy Frimpong's Liverpool's new right back, and they're like, so what happened to Conor Bradley? Yes, Conor Bradley signed a long-term deal with Liverpool, so yeah, he'll be there for more years to come. We love that. Also on the Frimpong conversation, Jordel says he has a Dutch manager in Arne Slot, teammates in VVD and Gakpo, so he will settle in really well, which is what I said earlier. And Sarki was saying that City claiming Wirtz is expensive is just a cover. And AD Samuel says Rashford is just another João Felix. He should go back to United.
Wow.
Yeah, so we had a lot going on in the comments.
Wow, Rashford. Man. Listen, Rashford still has a lot of glory to show us, you know. He's one of those players that I always trust. They're really good players. Sometimes when you see where they've played up to, you will know that they definitely have something in them, you know. And when you look at even the likes of Anthony now, look at the kind of goals he scores. Like, you know, sometimes the club just kind of wants to ruin your glory, and then luckily you get some kind of loan spell, go somewhere, and then boom. We start seeing that talent that you've always been known for. So I know Rashford I still rate him really high.
Let's talk about your team, Alex Ashmore, because breaking news, Rodrigo to Chelsea. Hello. Thoughts as a Chelsea fan? Let's start there and then we'll talk Real Madrid.
I think it would be a fantastic signing for Chelsea. I think when you look at how, yes, his natural position on the left, he's been moved over to the right, but we know he can play well on the right. I think that's perhaps one position that I don't think Chelsea, maybe on the left they do with Sancho, and I know Pedro Neto. I've been a really big fan of Pedro Neto. I think he's done fantastically this season. I look at a player like Rodrigo and what he would bring to Chelsea. Yes, I don't think it's the priority signing that we need. Like I think a striker is where Chelsea need to be looking in the market. I think that is, without a shadow of a doubt, Chelsea's number one priority. It should be. But I think if they sign a player like Rodrigo, it would be fantastic for Chelsea. the ability he has. We've heard Bellingham throughout the year praise him and say he's perhaps one of the most underrated players in the world. And I don't think he gets his time to shine at Real Madrid with Mbappe and Vinny and the others there. So I think it would be a fantastic signing for Chelsea. And if Chelsea can keep the core of this squad together that they've got this year, another news of Real Madrid being interested in Enzo Fernandez. I'm not sure they'll go for him. I think in the midfield they'll I don't think see them spending a big amount of money on a player like Enzo Fernandez this summer. But if Chelsea can keep that core squad with Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Pedro Neto,
Cole Palmer, and
Cole
then
Palmer.
slot Rodrigo in over Noni Madueke, get a striker, and you're looking sorted.
Slot Rodrigo in there, sort out the defence. I think Chelsea would be
Biggest
laughing.
problem. I mean, I know you're talking about a striker, but you might want to take...
need another 4 centre-backs. Full-backs as well. I mean, you could do with Cucurella, but I still think Chelsea could do better than Cucurella. And
He might have been the player of the season for you guys.
yeah, I think I've got to be fair to him. He's been playing well.
I will leave him in Chelsea.
But
He's good.
you look at Reece James as well at right back. We can't rely on him to be fit.
Badiashile.
38 games in a season.
Stay fit.
Your favourite.
Badiashile, Disasi, Tosin Odorobioyo. I think all of
Did
them.
you see that last assist?
Against United.
Reece James, yeah.
Yeah. Oh! But like Alex mentioned, he's not reliable. When he's
You're not
on,
gonna
he's
get-
on.
But I
He's
will still,
injured
but I will
every
still
season.
keep. I will still keep.
Exactly.
I will still keep.
No,
an
you keep
an
him,
unreliable
but you
James.
need a backup for him as
No,
well.
of course, definitely.
Because likely that backup will play more football than
Yeah,
Reece James.
but Chelsea has like 42 players. They should be.
Yeah, well, they have to
but
clean out house.
None of those 42 are good enough to play regularly at right
Then
back.
sell like 80 of them or something and buy one.
Fair enough.
My goodness. My goodness. All right, let's talk about the big man from Sporting, Victor Gyökeres, and where he should go. I said it. I want him going to Arsenal, but there's a couple clubs that are interested in him, Alex, one of them being your team, one of them being your
Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United.
team? Liverpool. Okay, so everyone at the table
I think everyone
interested.
wants him.
I don't want him to go Liverpool.
No.
And it's
Why
not
do
because
you?
I don't see him as a Liverpool type of player.
Do you want him at Liverpool?
I wouldn't be mad about it. So yes,
But do you-
I would want him. His quality.
Because I think that is perhaps the one thing that Liverpool need as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
An out-and-out
no,
goal
definitely.
scorer.
Yeah.
Salah, I don't think...
Salah
He's
is
only
brilliant.
getting older.
No, he's only getting
been-
old, and to
he's
be
been
fair,
fantastic.
Nah, but
But-
even if he was fantastic,
He
I
goes
still-
through periods of inconsistency.
Yeah, for me,
He's
it's
also
still
not
more
a
like-
striker.
and he's
That's-
also
That's
thank
what-
you. He's
that's
also
what
not a striker.
I'm saying, even if he was playing in his prime, yeah, even with a Salah, knowing that he's a right winger, you still need an out-and-out striker. And I'm talking about world class. If Liverpool want to continue playing like in that top level that they've done this season, do you see? Like, having Darwin Núñez, for example, as a guy that you want to depend on. Honestly, I feel like Liverpool should thank their God that they actually won the league with a Darwin Núñez
Exactly.
being in the squad. So if they are winning with a Darwin Núñez in the squad, somebody whom, if you give 10 chances, he scores 2 of them, whether they are like open or 1-on-1 or whatever, imagine now having somebody who would convert like 10 chances, 8 of them are good. Say, for example...
Also, you don't want.
kind of Haaland or-
So Liverpool will be too good if we get him, because that's what I'm.
No, of course, definitely.
So that's why you do. Okay, no, I'm following.
Wait, do you think I'm trying to make you happy?
No, I'm following, because I'm like, where are you going with this? Because one, Darwin Núñez, if he goes,
But
sorry,
but then
thank
again,
you.
Gyökeres type of
Jota, it would be nice if he could stay fit. Gakpo, we've seen where he can deliver, but I think that he would be perfect for us.
Another player Liverpool are interested in, aside from Gyökeres, is Benjamin Šeško. Could be, the face I'm not getting that it was good, Shantelle. He's
I think Arsenal have been sniffing around him as well.
Yeah, Arsenal need any striker at this point.
Exactly.
They need to make the move. But why did you drop your face there when I said Benjamin Šeško?
Okay, I didn't really drop my face, but it's just that wouldn't be my first choice. That just wouldn't be my first
Who's your
choice.
first choice for a striker out of everyone?
No, I already said it, and it's not realistically, but in a perfect world, I would love Isak.
Oh, okay, so yeah.
In a
Back
perfect,
to Liverpool, definitely not.
in a perfect world,
it doesn't seem
in
like
a
Caliban.
perfect world, we would be unstoppable. So that would be my first choice, only if it was realistic.
Okay. Alex, what do you think about, okay, so we have Gyökeres and we have Benjamin Šeško. Where do you see these two players ending up or fitting in the best for both of them?
It's a difficult question. I think if I was to move pieces around, Gyökeres to Arsenal.
Yeah.
Isak stay at Newcastle.
Yeah.
Šeško, I think he's a brilliant striker, but I don't think he's top quality calibre of winning you Premier League, scoring you 40 goals a season. Who are the other names you said? Sorry?
That's all I said. I mean, you can add names to
No,
that.
I think Gyökeres to Arsenal.
Mateta.
No, but why wouldn't
Brighton,
wait,
Alex, Manchester
Yeah.
United.
why don't you see Gyökeres fitting in that Liverpool setup?
I think Arsenal need him more than you guys, and they're going to go for him.
It's
Who
not a case
cares what
of,
Arsenal needs?
it's not a case of me not seeing him
They're going to
fitting
pay
in.
more.
I think he would fit in, but I think when you look at Arsenal's
I mean,
style
we
of
need
play,
a striker just
look-
as much as Arsenal. Okay,
but you
not
look
just
at-
as much,
you look
but we
at
need a
Arsenal's
striker.
style of play, the way that they love set pieces, they love corners,
Okay.
they love that. They've been screaming for a target man for so long. Mikel Merino has filled that gap in some way.
Yeah, they're
but
makeshift
not fully. Gyökeres being
striker.
up front for Arsenal, I think, in that system, and I think he would just be, as they say, the cherry on the top.
I'm going to be Clinton in this situation. I wouldn't want him to get him just because, they would be too good with him. I'm playing my Clinton card.
Clinton.
That is what
card.
Arsenal.
You know the Clinton card in England. The
Yes, yeah, I know. Yeah.
what is it? The Clinton card. I wanna
They
play the
change it to a K. No, I think Gyökeres to Arsenal. I think Isak will stay at Newcastle. Benjamin Šeško, I don't see him coming to the Premier League. Man United, I think they'll get Osimhen.
Clinton will rejoice. If that happens,
I don't think we will.
That would be so
we
beautiful
will
to
ever have
watch.
seen
Clinton will have a show by himself.
Forget Real
Sit in the
Madrid.
middle.
No, literally.
Osimhen joining Man United would be the best day of your life.
Do you know how crazy it was when Manchester United had a certain Odion Ighalo in Manchester? I mean, you remember when he was even playing with the Cristiano Ronaldo? So like this is when Ronaldo was in. But they brought. I don't know if they played together, but it was Odion Ighalo and then Ronaldo came.
Yeah.
And obviously Ighalo, that was his childhood club where he wanted to play for. And when he had the opportunity, he even take like a pay cut just to come play for United. I think he scored about 4 or 5 goals. I can't remember now. But the happiness that Nigerians felt just seeing our Nigerian being a striker for United, it was like the biggest stuff that was good. It was massive.
Yeah.
So I think seeing it with the Victor Osimhen right now would be some kind of explosion.
You'd have to get the jersey.
Oh no, facts, come on. I'll literally be going, I'll kill his DM. Is he mad? Like, bro, he's sending it personally to me.
There you go.
That he's going to do a Victor Boniface.
We need him to come now, Victor Osimhen. We need you to go to Manchester United simply for KlintonCod.
For real.
Now, if it doesn't happen, I reckon he's going to be really.
Nah, I would die. Like,
insufferable.
imagine Osimhen. Osimhen United right now.
I'm actually afraid
Oh
of that
my
because what
God.
if the effect that Manchester United have on players actually happens to him? Like, yeah, we know that he's a playmaker and he could do great things for the club, but what if it does the complete opposite? Then what, Clinton?
He's not going to do the complete opposite, though. Osimhen does not do the complete opposite. He does what he's known for, and we've seen it. He will continue doing it.
Okay,
There's
so
no
he's
opposite.
bigger than Man United Juju then?
No. Listen. Even if the juju affects United, it does not affect Osimhen.
Okay.
If they lose, Osimhen did not lose. United lost.
Okay.
That's literally what it is. Osimhen does not lose. Like, this guy is that
It's
good.
never his fault.
No, yes, never his fault. Yeah. Like, Osimhen does not lose. Osimhen does not lose. Lose does Osimhen. Like,
That was hard. That was a tough one. That was a tough one. Clinton, where do you think Victor Gyökeres should go?
I see him
Or
more
fitting?
I see him fitting in more in either an Arsenal or a Chelsea. For me. Why? Because he's one of those kind of strikers that, he would always put himself in that position where if the chance is being created, he's going to take it. Right? I think he would be in that team where they are not struggling for the ball to be in the second half of the opponent, like the half of the opponent. So long as the ball is there,
Yeah.
I see him surviving anywhere. His job is just to score goals, and he does it. He's a proper striker, right? And when you look at that Chelsea setup, first of all, you know that they have the caliber of players that are able to push the ball forward. But when you look at the like of a Rich James, for example, if he's fit, so we know he's that offensive defender, right? he would always find those assists. When you look at even Eko Korea, you see how much he's stepping up currently, right? And then when you now look at that, how much the wingers are able to catch. Like Chelsea currently have some kind of world-class wingers that because they play for Chelsea and how much Chelsea underrate themselves, especially from when the season started, when they were saying, no, we are not, the league, winning the league is not really in our, we just want to play or we just want to, whatever. You could just see for me, that's just no confidence. But when you look at that team, having the likes of Pedro Neto, you have the likes of Sancho, if he stays, for example. Yeah? And when you look at that defense, the midfield, when you're looking at, players like the one that's come from Brighton, Caicedo. Like, you will see that they have some kind of substance. But look at Nicholas Jackson now.
Oh, Jesus.
For example, compared to every goal that you see in top strikers. I give an example, Kylian Mbappe. If Nicholas gave you the amount of goals, I know he's never going to do it. But if Nicolas Jackson gave you, let's say, close to the amount of goals we've seen from an Mbappe, that's going to come second, yeah? Because that's what you would expect from a Chelsea caliber striker. But right now, you would not be praying to be in either Champions League or playing European football. You will comfortably be there. But the problem there is you have a very inconsistent striker that you don't know what you get for him. I mean, look at a striker having such a red card. Why would a striker... this is not even a defender. This is not a defensive midfielder. This is not a Casemiro. This is a guy whose job is to literally be in the position and score goals. And then you're going to, literally, I don't what he's like. That's not the kind of striker Chelsea need. If you, in all sincerity, all you need, you just need an out-and-out striker. The chances have been created. When you look at an Arsenal that I was mentioning earlier, it's also the same thing. Arsenal, whether you like it or not, having the likes of Trossard, Martinelli, you come to Saka, all of these guys, they know how to walk the ball forward. What they don't have, they have a Kai Havertz who's been injured. And now you have to convert a midfielder to become your striker. The chances are always going to be there. The question is, who converts them? So these are the kind of people that these clubs need. Manchester United, I could say the same thing for, right? I've been complaining about Højlund.
Yeah.
When you have, Garnacho is up and down. But when they want to really play football and you see how much he always pushes that attack from the left, and you now talk about an Amad Diallo, and you're not even looking at a Mason Mount that does this kind of offensive midfield job going on there. You look at a Casemiro, even Casemiro when he wants, obviously is old. Or then look at a Bruno Fernandes, a visionary. All they just need is somebody who is able to be in the right space and take opportunities. All these clubs, I'm telling you, their biggest problem is the fact that they don't have somebody to take opportunities. But fact is, the chances are being created.
Yeah.
It's as simple to me.
Shantelle, let's jump to some comments quick.
Okay, so LK says Chelsea should buy Rodrigo on a permanent deal, and I've seen quite a few of those. Someone also says Osimhen will go to Chelsea, not Man United, because he will want to break a record created by Nigerian players in Chelsea. Markinde says Barcelona needs Osimhen more than any other team. Also seeing Jonathan David for Chelsea. And someone says that they see Benjamin will be better for Liverpool. So we have a lot of where a person see players going.
And that poll?
Oh, and the poll, where does Guy Carez, have to move for the next season? Arsenal 34, Chelsea 37, Man United 20, and Liverpool at the bottom with 17%. So more persons seeing him at Arsenal than the likes of a Chelsea, Man United, or even Liverpool.
It's an interesting one. He's a very hot commodity in the summer transfer window, and I think
any one of these clubs that should get him would be lucky.
Of course, absolutely, and he's going to have the pick of where he wants to go. Alex, we just saw some breaking news that Dibu Martinez might be leaving Aston Villa, and two teams interested in him, Manchester United and Atletico Madrid. And if
I
you
thought Barcelona was looking at him as well.
Sorry?
No, I thought Barcelona was looking at him.
Dibu Martinez?
Yes.
News
No,
to
for
me.
real.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, no. I actually saw it earlier, this morning before I even came to.
One thing I will say is if you ever asked me for a more Atletico goalkeeper, Dibu Martinez is the one. Now, that being said, I don't think Atleti need Dibu Martinez. Jan Oblak is an absolutely brilliant
And he's
keeper.
got a contract until 2028.
I can't see them splurging and spending. This is not one of the pieces that you need on that Simeone side right now. I don't think so. But
Man United, I could see a little bit more.
I could absolutely see it a little bit
With
more.
Onana, if Onana is still Man United's goalkeeper next season,
I think you'd love Dibu Martinez as
No, of course.
Like,
no,
they're one
I
and the same.
don't think every team would want to have him. Like, this guy is a world class. Like, literally.
No, I know, but I think you love the attitude.
No,
too.
no, I love him.
You'd be
I love him. Nah. He's my favorite, man. Like, poor people. Get people pissed. Like, it's a game, man. Do what I just love his behavior, man. I know people don't like it. They feel like he's very sassy. I don't know if that's the word, but
Sassy. Alex, what were you going to say?
no, I think I could see him at United. I think if you look at Onana, I was going to say if Andre Onana is Manchester United's goalkeeper next season, they've made a huge mistake. I think he's not good enough. He too many errors.
Our backup goalkeeper as well. What's his name again?
Bayindir.
Yeah, Bayindir. I mean, I know he had that really brilliant.
I don't think he's good enough. For a club like Man United, you need a world-class goalkeeper. I don't think Emi Martinez is a world-class
I love this picture, though.
That's Clinton. Can you reenact that? No, don't. We're on a family show.
Oh,
God.
I think, I don't think Emi Martinez is a world-class goalkeeper. I think he's a very good goalkeeper. Martinez.
Martinez is top 3 in the world.
No, not a chance.
Chance. Big chance.
What
Top
you
three now.
on about, though?
Okay, what's your top 3 then?
Courtois first. Second, you'd probably go.
Interkeeper, Sommer.
Oh, no.
To be honest-
No. He's not top 3. He's incredible, but he's not top
I'd
3.
rather have
We had a
Sommer
good
than Dibu
game.
Martinez. I think Sommer's a better goalkeeper than Emi Martinez.
Lost your
Wow.
whole mind.
Really?
Lost
Are
your
you serious,
whole mind.
Alex?
Alisson, I think he's better than Emi Martinez.
So you have
I think-
Courtois and
I think-
Alisson
I
and
think-
Jan Sommer.
David Raya is better than Emi Martinez.
Get off the show.
Are you serious, Alex?
Get off the show. Alex, wait. You're an intelligent man.
This one is going to social media. No, wait.
Yeah. Kid boys.
Hey, wait, repeat. Wait, say. You say what's it?
David Raya, I think he's better than Emi Martinez.
No, say it with your chest. No, you have to say it with your chest, Alex.
Listen to what your body just said. Wait, Alex. Wait. No, wait. Hey, Sarah. Hey. No, Alex, are you serious? No, Alex, let me see. I know you love joking. You know you're a very funny guy. Raya.
If you
Why am I
ask me,
crying?
as a say I was a club and I was looking for a goalkeeper, who would I rather sign, David Raya or Emi Martinez? I'd sign David Raya.
Well, that's a terrible move from that so-called club that you've made. He was the second best player at that World Cup after Lionel Messi.
Yeah, well, that's
Literally.
3 years ago.
But what?
But he's playing for Aston Villa, who are playing brilliantly this season.
Yeah, but he's still. I still don't think he's top 3 goalkeepers in the world.
He's better than David Raya.
I'm not.
I agree. Thibaut Courtois and Alisson are better. But then if you're looking for that number 3...
I'd take Jan Sommer.
No, Jan Sommer is recency bias. He had a great game, and I think he's good, but I don't think he's that level. Ter Stegen, you could say, but been injured, so fine, put him on the side. You have
Okay, what about
Donnarumma from PSG, inconsistent. You never know. Okay.
You don't know which one you get.
David Raya, for sure, no.
But it's not like
Onana,
Emi Martinez isn't completely devoid of any errors. He does make mistakes.
I think he makes mistakes. We know all keepers make mistakes. Alisson and Courtois make mistakes.
But the same with Donnarumma, I think, as a
Everybody makes, even what's the name? Man City, my boy Ederson. Like literally every. But when you look at Martinez, yeah, Martinez comes with every package that you want in a goalkeeper. Like there is nothing when it comes to ball distribution, when it comes to saves, when it comes to being a keeper. Like there is nothing you cannot. For me, he even comes with an attitude that you don't see in so many keepers that even players get irritated of. And to me, that's what I love. Like
I'm not denying he's.
when it comes to penalties, bro, everything.
I think he's a good goalkeeper. I'm not denying that.
No. But no, see, where you got me pissed is literally saying Raya. Like, do you know where Raya falls in the number when it comes to best, let's say, top 5 goalkeepers in the world right now?
I don't think he's a top 5 goalkeeper in the world.
Who? Raya.
David Raya.
So, but you don't think Martinez is top 5?
No.
I'm seeing Oblak shouts in the comments.
Oh.
I think
Good.
Emi Martinez is better than Oblak, though,
Yes.
this season especially.
No, for me, he is by whatever he is, actually.
I actually think if you look at Oblak's, I don't want to say full because he's been good this season, but I think the errors that he has committed this season, don't see Oblak as quite the magnificent keeper that he once was, say, 5 years ago.
No, but I think for me, Martinez is definitely top 5, though. Literally, right now, like whenever. My guy is a real goal. Like he's born. He's
I
born
think
to
he's a good
save.
goalkeeper. I think Raya's better.
Like if Jesus did not exist, he would save you, bro.
Well, Alex, you have persons who are backing you. Gideon says, I agree with Alex. Raya is actually good than Emi. And if he had a chance in higher stages, it would be made clearer.
Oh
But you can
my
only play the
God.
games you play. Why do we have this argument? Like,
Yeah.
well, what's the point of that? If Lamine Yamal plays in the final, does he win the Ballon d'Or? Like, what, the theoretical doesn't make sense. If you actually look at the stats, too, I mean, Dibu Martinez has better stats than David Raya. David Raya, Alex!
No, it's David Raya. It's David
like,
Raya,
you're a
though.
stat man, too, and
Like
the
it's
stats
David,
don't even
it's
follow
David
you.
Raya. Like David Raya,
Oh,
Sticking with
my
the guns, I think David Raya is
goodness.
better than Emi Martinez.
though, bro.
It might have been your worst take on the show. I don't think I've ever disagreed with you more.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of things.
No. This one is
No,
that's
this one
it.
actually-
No, but that's why I kept on asking. This is one of the jokes. Like let's find out because this is like what? I mean, no, if I said it, people would understand because obviously I like trouble and I don't like peace. Or some people would believe that Clinton sounds so dumb sometimes. No, which I agree. To be honest, I do. But my own dumbness is always very right too. At the same time, but Alex, you just took my position though.
You took my position.
Wow, let's not go that far.
Okay, all right. Let's leave Alex alone.
My man went over far. Like
Let's-
this guy
let's-
went with a flight.
He's allowed.
Bro.
He's allowed to have his opinions.
No,
right?
okay, it's
Let
okay,
him
actually.
be controversial.
All right.
We have persons backing him. Go, Alex.
All
No,
right.
I'm actually more pissed that we have people backing him up. Like
No, persons are saying he's 100% right. So
Damn. No, right? No, See, you know I'm better than Raya.
You're not.
No, I'm better.
Clinton, oh my God.
I am.
Maybe I don't know, drinking rum.
Oh my God.
Wow, going for the soft spot. All right, let's move along to the under-17 UEFA Men's Championships. Yesterday, we saw Portugal beat Albania 4-0. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we saw France absolutely demolish Germany 3-0 after Germany picked up a red card just 30 minutes into that match. So France and Portugal making a name for themselves and starting off strong in this one. And tonight, we have England taking on Belgium. Alex, how are we feeling ahead of this one? A strong start yesterday for some teams, a bad start as well for some. So, pressure's on?
Yeah, I mean, pressure's on. You look at that group, there are some strong teams. Obviously, Italy and Belgium are the two that you'd probably say would be competing for that top two. And England are on a good run of form. You look at their last 10 games, they've only lost 2. They've played some tough teams. They played the Netherlands. They beat the Netherlands twice. I think, like every game, and I think Belgium, the way that these teams at this level will try and play football, I think it's going to be tough. But I've got to lean towards England, haven't I?
Don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. I'll quickly go through the lineup for both sides, starting off with the home side for England. Porter with a back three of Byfield, Braithwaite, and Benamar. In the middle, Burrows, Ridgen, Page, and McAdoo. And up front, Ngumha, Rodriguez, and Dowman. And for Belgium, we have Munganga, Darkon, Gielan, Jonkers, and De Kimpe, a back four. Duwanamaker, Decat, De Silva, the mid three, and up front, Basiwu, Matuba, and Fernandez. Clinton, we saw a lot of two high-scoring games yesterday. In fact, actually, you went for the draw alongside Alex. Didn't go your way. France and Germany.
No, unfortunately for me, I just thought that it was going to be a chaotic one. I didn't know it was going to be easy for France. It's quite very.
Why are you very sad about that?
No, I won't, because when you
Voices drop.
No, I mean I was expecting more. Some kind of competitive game between both teams, knowing the caliber of countries they are playing for.
It's a good win for France.
No, of course, absolutely.
Comfortable win.
Yeah.
You need that to start.
Yeah.
Sorry, just speaking about chaotic games and whatnot, our bet builders yesterday.
Oh, please. Now, I remember you said something yesterday, though. You were like, and 5 goals comes in, all of us.
Yeah.
When I saw the 5th one, that was when I was like, oh, Sara.
Did you?
I know I didn't mind him come off, but
It almost did.
Almost.
But if you look at who I predicted to win, I got that right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hold
you
his
did.
hand,
hold his hand.
but you know,
There wasn't-
but
there
your
were
betting
more
code
than
was
2.5
still
goals.
but your betting code was still useless. To
Both
everybody.
teams scored. Don't want to go into the at the moment. But Brighton won, and I'm happy I predicted that.
I'm happy for you, Alex. Later on, we have Italy and Czechia as well. As Alex mentioned, maybe Italy and Belgium, the two top teams here. Clinton, are you seeing any easy wins in these two matches coming up? Like we saw kind of two easy wins yesterday for two sides.
Sorry. Which team
England
is it?
taking on Belgium and Italy later on taking on Czechia.
Italy definitely having their win.
They are the champions as it stands right now.
Yeah, I don't see it going any other way up, you know, aside.
I think England will beat Belgium.
You have
And
to.
I think Italy will win.
I think Italy will win. I have a very strong spirit. England, I think, will definitely beat Belgium. If they don't beat, it's probably. If I was going to bet on that one, I'm probably going to give you maybe an England or draw, you know. But
Why don't you chuck in a Belgium win there? Why don't you chuck a Belgium win in there just for good measure?
Well, England to win this one on SportyBet right now is 1.67. The heavy favorites as Belgium are 4.70 and the draw 3.70. Meanwhile, Italy later tonight, again, heavy favorites, 1.66. Almost quite actually similar, 1.66 and Czech Republic to win, 4.70, the draw 3.80. So both England and Italy heading into both of their respective matches as heavy favorites. But as we saw yesterday with France and Germany, it doesn't always go your way. A red card or maybe an unexpected underdog win. Who's to say? It's the opening match for all four of these sides, so you never know.
Yep. I mean, that's what we love to see, right? See underdogs shining somehow. But the question is, how far can the underdog go? I mean, that's what the kind of things we said about the Aston Villas in the Champions League. You know, the Lille, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, from the French side. So, the underdogs would always want them to go far at least. But there's always that high tendency that they would always drop off at some point, seeing how overpowering the top ones and eventually tend to show.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Shantelle, let's jump to some comments.
Okay, so I'm going to start from Rashford.
Oh.
So Starkey says, Rashford is an Ansu Fati, a club darling, started early, an academy graduate, wears the number 10, but things are just being difficult. Jordanelle says, Rodrigo to Chelsea, like seriously, wow, interesting, would be fantastic signing. But we need a world-class striker, goalkeeper, and a CB. LK says Martinez should go and put Onana on the bench. We are tired. Oof. AD Samuel says if Gyökeres decides to go to the PL, he might choose Man U because of Amorim. Chuk says this is going against Alex, and we've seen a few of those saying that Martinez can never be better than Raya. Kelvin John on Facebook says, I personally think Pickford is better than Raya. And I'm having some predictions ahead of the match. So Belgium will win. LK saying 4-0 to England. And Raymond is also saying that England will win today. So saw a bit of predictions, but more persons are saying it will go to England.
Well, I love the Pickford better, right?
Crazy.
I just had to sneak that one
No,
in
but
there.
it's true though.
Pickford's good, but I don't know if
No, Pickford is better than Raya. Let's be sincere with that. Oh my God. Is it because he plays for Everton though?
it's a silly take.
No, it's not. Pickford is better than Raya, for Christ's sake.
No.
All right, well, on that note, let's end it off here. One more time.
There's
Pickford.
also, hold on, Clinton, just to go back to the under-17, someone is saying that everyone should look at France under-17 number 6 and Germany number 18 and Portugal number 19. They
That's
will
a
be
lot
great.
of people to look forward to. Just
So-
write it as a full text.
So, I guess, players to look out for.
Right.
Yeah, we saw a few of them in action
Yeah.
yesterday. Mite for Portugal. Let's see what England and Belgium can do. That's coming up right now after the show, guys, so stay tuned. And later on, Italy taking on Czechia. Tomorrow, we'll be back for the Europa League watch-along. Manchester United, Clinton's very own, taking on Tottenham Hotspur. We will do a pre-match and a watch-along with you guys. And Clinton this time will be in the hot seat. And I can't wait, because I'm going to be sitting back,
And I'm going to be rejoicing after the
not
game.
Not thinking about anything.
No, I'll be laughing. I'll be lifting the chair like how he did when Liverpool lost.
Dear
I'll be here for it.
Clinton. Well, Shantelle will be here. Remember, guys, one last time, we are giving away the signed Real Madrid jersey.
Oh, yes.
There you go. We are giving it away in a week and a half time, so you have a lot of time. Champions League final day, May 31st. All you have to do to win is subscribe and drop a comment. Say why you want this jersey. Let us know, and we're going to pick a winner on May 31st. So, guys, that's it for us today. We'll be back again tomorrow. Manchester United, Tottenham in the Europa League final. Who's going to win? We'll find out. Until then, enjoy the football.
Booking code, sorry. We'll send it to you guys. But everywhere.
Check social media.
United! Check out social media, our booking codes. Please go use them. This one is a sure one.